Hello! Welcome to GMAT Tuesdays. My name is Kevin. We're talking about articles today. This is a very in-depth and rich topic. There are lots of things that we could talk about. So we're just going to touch on the basics and look at an exception. We had a comment on a previous video. A student was asking about articles, so I'm just going to go over the basics. In terms of the GMAT, you're not necessarily going to be tested on the articles, but it is something that you're going to want to demonstrate that you can use them correctly when you're writing your essay. You know, when you're talking with people, it's very easy to communicate and not use articles. People understand what you're saying if you drop all of the articles in your sentence. But if you're writing and you want to demonstrate that you have a very strong knowledge of English, you definitely want to know how to use articles. So, an article is a type of determiner. So it's something we put in front of a noun that helps to determine what noun we are referring to or talking about. So a determiner, some other determiners besides articles, are words like my, or this, or that, or her. And again, these all designate what noun we are referring to. So here are the basics. Sometimes it's hard to know if you should use the, or a, or an. And this is the question you should think about when you're deciding. You know what I'm talking about, right? So ask yourself this question. You're either going to be writing a letter, an email, or text message, or talking to someone. And that person either is going to know what you're referring to, or they're not going to know what you are referring to. If they know what you're referring to, the answer is yes, then you're going to use the article the. You put the in front of the noun. So for example, if I said, please feed the dogs, you would know that I'm talking probably about dogs that I own, maybe, or at least dogs that you would know about. If you didn't know what I was referring to, or I knew you didn't know what dogs I was referring to, I would use a. So the answer is no, you don't know what dogs I'm referring to. And we need to consider one other point here too. Is the noun singular and countable? Then we're going to use a or an. So with the dogs, we'd say, can you feed a dog? Which sounds kind of funny. But we have dogs which are countable, and it's singular, so we'd use a. If, for example, it's plural or uncountable, and you don't know what we're talking about, so for example, if we had, I love dogs, then we're not using an article at all. I'm making a general statement about dogs. And if, for example, we have an uncountable noun like information or help, you could say, I need help or I need information. And that is uncountable. It isn't plural, so there isn't or here, so it's plural or uncountable. And so dropping the article in front of those nouns is the rule. So these are the basics. We have one exception that we're going to talk about today. There's lots of exceptions, so definitely do more research if you're curious. This has to do with groups. So if you're dealing with groups and you're making a generalization about the group, you're making some general statement, you're not going to use the article the. You're going to leave it off. So for example, here I have two sentences. And I'm making general statements here. Teachers work hard. Making a general statement. And so we're not going to say the teachers. Again, airlines lose suitcases. This is a general statement about suitcases. You might have lost yours on occasion. And in this case, both of these sentences imply nothing particular about the group, but just referring to the group as a whole. Next, if you want to talk about the group as a unit, as one complete unit, then you will use the. So, for example, we can say the teachers are upset. And that implies that you know which groups of teachers I am talking about. And I'm talking about the whole group being upset about something. And then again with the airlines, you could say the airlines are raising rates. Maybe fuel prices went up. And so in this case, we're talking specifically about the airlines. So what you can see here is that if you're making generalizations about something, drop the. But if you want to talk about specifics or something more in particular, then use the article the in front of the noun. All right, so hopefully this was a little helpful, and you have some idea of how to deal with articles. Again, there's a lot more to this topic, so do some research, hit the internet, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below the video. I will be here at Magoosh, ready to help. If you need anything, head on over, and we'll answer all your questions and help you get ready for the GMAT. Be excellent to the universe, and I'll see you soon.